The most difficult thing for me in tango as a shy person was the cabeceo. You know, this gesture that you have to do to invite your partner to dance. When I first learned about that, when I remember our teacher demonstrating that to us, I was like,
no way, I can do that. I will probably not be able to dance ever.
And 9 years later, well, it's second nature. How did I manage? Well, stick around and I will give you some tips. Welcome to Goodnight Tango. I'm Christos. I'm dancing tango for 9 years now, and for the last 4 years, I'm also writing about that in my blog. So, without further ado, let's start with the tips. I will start with some more practical tips in the beginning, but make sure to stick around for the last two because they are really game changers. They will really supercharge your cabeceo game. The first tip that I would like to give, the first advice that I would like to give, especially for beginning, for the early stages in tango, is to go for the easy targets. Start by inviting people that you already know, by inviting your classmates, by inviting people that you sit around and talk to them next to each other, for example, or in the same table or things like that. Cabaceo is much easier and much more comfortable. Inviting somebody to dance with is much easier and much more comfortable when you know the person. When they know you, you have already built some trust and they already feel okay to dance with you. And you also feel okay to invite them. It's much easier for you to invite them. But there is a catch to that. When you are discussing with somebody, when you're having a chat with somebody, don't just try to cabeceo them verbally. We don't just try to lead the conversation and say, would you like to dance? Try to also accompany that with the movement of the head or the gesture of the head. So, for example, if you're sitting next to each other or if you're sitting opposite to each other in a table and you're chatting and the new tanda starts, you can say, would you like to dance? Accompany that with a gesture in the head because it will help you then to remove the verbal invitation when you are away from them and to do it without it. The next tip, the second tip, is to aim for invitations that don't have high stakes, invitations with low stakes. And what I mean by that is that when you try to invite somebody who is maybe at a higher level, or maybe you feel that they are quite beautiful, very beautiful dancer, or like a very different dancer from you, like much younger, much older. Generally, you don't feel that you are, vibing together, I would say. Don't try to invite somebody that you don't feel comfortable with in general in the beginning. Try to invite people that you feel that are friendly, like maybe the dancers that you see sitting around more than others. This will help you because you will feel more comfortable to invite them, and there is no high stakes because you will not feel any pressure to succeed or to perform or to do whatever. You're just going to have a nice tanda, a nice 10 minutes, and that's all. So the more high stakes you put to yourself, the more, I would say, intimidating is the cabeceo that you try to do, the person that you try to cabeceo, the more difficult it will be. In the beginning, you don't have to go directly for the highest targets, for the experts or for whatever else. Try to do that try to cabeceo to invite people that, are less invited maybe, or friendlier, or, you feel more comfortable with them. Even by looking at them, maybe you have exchanged some glances in the space or generally smiling and things like that. Now, the third tip has to do more with the way that you look at the person. I would say that is kind of counterintuitive. If you want to invite somebody specific, don't focus too much on them. Don't try to look at them like this, staring very intently to them. Better be more relaxed and try to focus maybe somewhere nearby them, maybe slightly to the left, to the right, maybe slightly forward, slightly back of them. Don't try to focus your attention too much on the person that you want to invite. Try to have a general stare in the area. So now, for example, I'm looking at the camera, but now I'm looking at the general area of the camera. I'm having my mind in where the camera is, where the person is, for example, but I'm not really staring or intently staring to them, and maybe I'm breaking the attention slightly for small moments, you see. This makes you feel more comfortable with yourself, so you don't feel that you are staring at a person, which makes you uncomfortable. And then we go to the next step, where you pay attention to that area in general. And when you see the person that you want to dance scanning the room and trying to find somebody to dance with and crossing you when they scan the room, then just as you are sitting relaxed, you do something like trying to make a small movement or a change in the facial expression, or maybe tilt your head somehow, do some movement to break the focus, to attract the attention. Okay, so I'm scanning the room to try to find somebody, and when I see somebody that is sitting like that, looking at me, and goes like this, or like, or some kind of small movement that gives somebody the idea that, okay, you're looking at me, really? Something like that. And if you see them stop at you and stay with you, then follow with the cabeceo. Okay, it's much easier because this way, if she's not interested in you, she will just cross you and go further. But if she is interested and she will stay, then cabeceo comes naturally. And you don't feel uncomfortable the whole time that you're looking at that area. Plus, there is also another advantage in this strategy, that when you look at the general area, you can avoid, or you can at least have a bit more control when to time the cabeceo, so that you avoid, cabeceoing 2 or 3 people together and being in this kind of messy situation, but which messy and funny anyway, where you cabeceo one and 2 or 3 persons respond. But anyway, it gives you a better overview of the whole area, so that you can time the cabeceo at the time that you know that this is the only person that looks at you and nobody else. And you are more guaranteed to have a clear answer. Oops, I just realized I'm in the editing right now and I didn't ask you, did you have any problems with cabeceo? Do you have any tips on how to improve it? Drop it in the comments, let me know. Coming to the last 2 tips that have to do with the mindset shift that I promised. The first one is to never assume that your cabeceo is going to get accepted. Sounds strange, but don't pressure yourself with expecting that 100% of the times that you're going to invite somebody, it's going to get accepted. Think of it more like tossing a coin. You're not going to have 100% chances of success. It's probably 50-50. Okay, so you try now. Maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. If it works, all fine. If it doesn't, you try again later. Don't think of it with the pressure of, I need to dance with that person, and if it doesn't work, then I'm ruined, or things are going to hell, or I don't know. Don't get disappointed by the rejection. See it as a game of tossing a coin and being lucky or not. This will help you, first of all, release the pressure that you feel when you have your mind to get accepted for the dance and you're focusing too much. It will also probably make you feel more relaxed and will probably relax your body language when you are looking at the person. So the previous idea of looking not intensely but relaxing when you try to see the area is also going to get help from this. So yeah, try to be as relaxed as possible and never assume that your cabeceo is going to get accepted. I mean, I'm dancing for 9 years and I know people that are dancing for much more than me, many more years than me, and they always see the cabeceo as a game, and they always see the cabeceo as a tossing of a coin and say, okay, if I get ejected, I get ejected. They never assume that the cabeceo is going to work because, maybe the partner that they are aiming for is looking at somebody else and they get to dance with them first. Or maybe they are chatting with some friend and they don't pay attention to you at that time. You never know. So, yeah, relax yourself from this pressure of having to dance with somebody that you try to cabeceo. And if it doesn't work, adjust and try to find somebody else. And the fifth tip is something that I kind of hinted to. I mean, look at the whole tango and milonga and the milonga experience as a game. And imagine that the cabeceo is just one rule of the game. For example, if you play football, you cannot hold the hand with your hands unless you are the goalkeeper. If you play basketball, you cannot kick the ball. If you think like this, cabeceo is just a rule of the game. Also, think about it like this. It's a different context. It's a totally different context that you are working on. For example, if you are playing if you're boxing, within a boxing ring, you're allowed to punch somebody in the face. But if you walk outside the street and you just punch people in the face, probably you get arrested. See it like this. It's a totally different context. The milonga is kind of like a ring where you're not only allowed to punch people in the face, to look people in the eye and nod to them and try to cabeceo and try to invite them this way, but it's also required. It's part of the game. It's part of the rules of the game. So if you look at it like this, you liberate yourself. You free yourself from the notion of, oh, this has the wrong connotations or the wrong associations in your mind, and you see it totally different. For me, this was a totally liberating idea, a totally liberating thought. And from the moment that I started thinking of it as a rule of the game and I had to play the game like this, I started not thinking about it that much. And now it comes naturally and I enjoyed it very much. So I hope that you found all these tips quite useful, and I hope that they will help you in your own tango journey. And if you're a shy person that now starts the journey in tango or thinks about learning tango and starting their own tango journey, maybe the video over here will help you understand a little bit more how tango can help you as a shy person. Check this out and don't forget to move forward both in the dance floor and in your life. Bye! Think of it like a costoin. Think of the cabeceo as a costoin. Coin toss. A coin toss. A tossing of a coin.